Today is the day I face my nemesis stitch, the satin stitch. Yep, we are going to tackle the satin stitch. It's been requested, so I'm having a go. And I'm also going to have a go at making a padded satin stitch. So if you want to see how that turns out, it's coming up right now. I'm going to use the heart shape, this little stamp. You can draw it if you want to draw it. I did put this on the ring and then realised I couldn't stamp. So we can stamp that on. Put your little hoop on. Big hoop, whatever you've got. Whatever you've got. I've got a few that I've picked up from car boots. And this is really quite a cool little one because it's just rubber and it just squishes on. I've used this one before. So the main trick with the satin stitch is there's a few like should-dos, I think we're going to call them, even for wonky stitches. And the first thing is to have your fabric quite tight. So we're going to see how tight we can get that. This isn't brilliant in it. That's about as tight as it goes. So it should sound like quite tight. It's probably not tight enough, but you know. The second thing is to just keep it simple, because you know it won't be as easy if you've got a very complicated shape. So I would just keep it simple. We're not going to do all the patterns. The first thing that I do is to backstitch all the way around my shape. If you remember, just go just inside your shape. I've obviously gone on my line, but it's fine. It'll just be slightly larger. And remember, slow stitching is supposed to be meditative. It's not supposed to be rushed. So just relax and enjoy the process. Now you can do this back stitch with the same colour as you're going to use. You can have a different colour. You won't see it. So whatever you've got on a needle, you can use. I just find this gives me a lovely edge. So the next bit is to separate I'm trying not to go out of frame. The next thing I do would be to separate my shape into 3. So down the centre, and I'm going up on the outside of my back stitching. Just a little bit. Try and keep these straight. You can go either way. You can go, I'll do that side in a moment. You could get your, oops, I could have gone across. So then all it is a matter of keeping your thread the same, what do you call it? Like tension. If you see what I mean. Like, you know, not one stitch loose and another stitch tight. I mean, that's the bit I think that is tricky. And I struggle with that. But that's the idea. That's the idea. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit croaky today. We had our works Christmas party last night. And, yeah, you know what it's like. there was a few of the songs that, you know, you just have to shout along to. Yeah, I don't know if you're like me, like the old classics. We had like Grease, you know, and ABBA and all that. And it was like, and Sweet Caroline was at the end. You know, it was all a really, really, lovely evening. And we all had a brilliant time dancing and just seeing each other all dressed up. I do love the Christmas parties. But yeah, so today I'm suffering with my voice a bit. And I should be resting it. But I wanted to make this video. This is especially for Lynn. She asked me to do this satin stitch. And I know there's somebody else as well. But I can't remember who you are. Please tell me in the comments if it was you. So as you can see, I've done this side. And all I'm going to do is fill in. Where did I come up? At the top. I'm going to fill in the other side now. And this helps to keep your stitches in a straight line. And this is basically it. And just keep your stitches even. Take your time. Do it. You know, this is proper embroidery we're doing. You know? Not like my Wonky stitching. This is like real embroidery. Like keeping things nice and neat. It won't last. It won't last. But come up on the outside of your back stitch. And that helps create that lovely even edge. And I'll show you another trick. If your edge isn't as even as you like. If you don't want to do the back stitch. You can do something else to finish off your shape. I'll show you a few little techniques that I've been researching for you. I've done some research. Because I take my job seriously. You know, somebody asks me, can you show me this? I do look it up first and go, there's different ways and there's different, you know, things you can do. So, you know, I like to give you your money's worth as it is, even though there's not money. It's just, you know what I mean, figure of speech. As you can see, this is coming out really nice. I'm really loving this. It's so nice to get back stitching again. I've really missed it. It's been all the time I was away. I just did not have time with the baby and, you know, going out and about. I just didn't have time. By the time it got to the night time, I was exhausted. Now, I do have a bit of an issue because, you know, it wouldn't be me if I did it perfectly. I have gone a bit crooked and I've got a weird gap. But we're just going to keep going. It's fine. She says, we can do this. I don't know how I managed to do that, but I did. I might just come up underneath there and fill in this little bit, just like that. Just like that. Tommy Cooper. Who remembers Tommy Cooper? That's what he used to say. Just like that. Still on the outside at the bottom, but I'm just filling in, as you can see, at the top. Still trying to keep my stitches with the same tension. and I can feel that my hoop is getting looser. So just give it a bit of a tighten. It's a lot easier to do this on the hoop. If you're trying to hold it in your hand, it's a bit more tricky because you can't really keep it taut. It's one of the things I learned while I was researching. So that is one side done. So not looking too bad. Now I want to try something different for the other half. And what I really wanted to do was a variegated side, but the only variegated stuff I've got is this wool, and I'm not sure if this is going to work. So let's try it. So I'm going to try and split this better into half. Oh, I haven't tied a knot in the end. That probably would help. I want a little knot. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to come up on the outside again with this wool. This isn't going to take long because it's quite thick. If you want to do this faster, you could use 6 strands. I only used 3 because that was what was on my needle. And let's try and get this in a better straight line. So, like that. And we're going to do the same, but with this variegated wool. I save my thread and I come up where I've gone down, if you see what I mean. Some people will go back up to the top every time, but I just think that's a bit of a waste of thread. But you can do that by all means if that's how you want to do it. And I'm still going to go on the outside of my back stitch. Like that. And then hopefully I'll get a nice variegated side. So we're going to come back in and fill in these bits. Like there. And I'm hoping my wool will have changed colour by then. Like that. Oh, I've gone crooked. Oh no. And you can see how crooked I've gone. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's the process. I'm going to do... Oh, we're stuck. Hang on. What are we stuck on? I think I'm stuck on the knot. I've gone through the knot. Oh dear. Oops. Hopefully we can recover from that. I think that happens a lot. You get stuck on the knot when you're going back. So we're going to come down and just fill it in like we did before, but a lot quicker. So the more strands you've got, or if you're using a thicker thread, then obviously it'll be a quicker process. I think I'm getting a bit loose again. But it's the same principle, just keep your threads like the same tautness. I think this, I don't know if that's a word. I don't think it's a word. Okay. I've gone very crooked for some reason. Probably because I'm doing it on camera. But, you know, we don't worry, do we? We don't worry. Yours will be better. I'll fill that bit in. Oops. I quite like that. Let me a couple more. So I'm thinking this will probably be going out right on Christmas. So I hope that everybody enjoys their holidays, whether you're celebrating Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate. I hope you have a lovely time with your families. If you're on your own, enjoy your lovely peace and quiet. I will be. I'll be enjoying some crafting time. Right, let's finish that off. And I'm going to put myself in there like this and just try and sort of level out my stitches. So what do you think? I think that's turned out really nice. It's a bit wonky, but you know, that's what we're here for. Bit of wonky stitching. Okay, so I want to show you a different way to do it. If you want raised heart. Now this is quite dimensional, as you can see, hopefully. If I tip it, you can see it's a little bit raised. But you can do something to make that raise up even more. And you can use any colour. I've got this colour. I just pop a knot in it. In fact, I should just use thicker wool. I could use this. So you've got your pre-made heart, and you can just do some little seed stitches underneath, and that will help you. You don't need to use wool. Just use what you've got on a needle. I'm using this because it's thick, and it will be easier and quicker, because I'm on video, to fill in the gaps. So all I'm doing is seed stitches, and these will all be hidden underneath your satin stitch. Rid of you. But it will help just to raise it up a bit more. It'll give it more of a three-dimensional sort of look, which is quite cool. I'll just do this little tiny one because you've already seen me do one. You don't want to watch me do another one, or listen to me croaking on. Croaking on I am. I know. It's a nightmare. I shouldn't have been singing so loud, I think. It was so much fun. I might have told you that I work with the most amazing group of people. They're just... it's a new job. I've only been doing it sort of, I think, 6 months now. And a month of that I was on holiday and sick. But, you know, they're just so supportive, and it's just a lovely environment. I'm so lucky that I finally found it. You know, at my age, I finally found a job that I really enjoy. Well, not the job, just the people. The job's not. The job's okay, you know. I'd rather be making videos and stitching all day, but, you know, can't do that. That doesn't bring in the pennies, so if I've got to work, I'd like to work with those people. Right. Just get the last stitch tangled up. So, little tiny seed stitches. Okay, I've got my marker so I don't go up out of screen. So, we've done our little seed stitches, and I've got now 6 strands on my embroidery thread, and I'm going to do what I did before, which is follow the shape. I'm probably not going to do my splitting it up because this is only tiny, and I'm going to go over the top of my seed stitches. If I can come up in the right place. There we go. up one side and then hopefully back down again. I'm going to leave a little gap so that when I come back down, I can go in the gaps to fill it all in. Keeping my stitches all the same tension. I knew there was a word. I knew there was a word. Okay, this might not be as good because I haven't really got a line, but we're going to sort that out as well. So many tips in this video. All what I have learned while I've been researching satin stitch. It's not a stitch that I do so well. I don't find it an easy stitch, but I do like the finished result. And it's basically practice, guys. It really is. I think I'm getting better at it the more I'm practicing. And I think that's the same for most things. The more you practice, the better you get. Like anything. There we go. It's one side. I think I needed my lines. It's a good idea to divide your shape up because it does help you stay in a straight line, which then makes the stitches look nicer. But I'll get there. You know, I still count myself as a beginner. So I'm just enjoying myself learning and grabbing you lot along the way. If you want to join in, join in. The videos will be here. I'm hoping to try and get out 2 videos a week during January because I've been so slack the last few days, last few weeks even. Right, I think that's it. I think I'm done. So that is quite raised up from the surface, as you can see if I tip it. Very nice, like it. Now there's one more thing we can do, which would be quite fun. And I'm going to use this colour. Well, I could use pink, but I think you'll lose the pink if I do pink. So I'm going to use a contrasting colour so you can actually see. And I think this is 3 strands, so it's going to be a bit thinner. What I thought would just finish it off. I know I'll probably do some more on there. Is I'm going to start in like not on the point. And I'm going to do a stem stitch all the way round the outside just to see what it looks like. I just want to finish it off, and I know that a stem stitch is a really good outline stitch, and I do have a video on how I do my stem stitches. Pretty much the same as anybody else, I guess. Just make sure, the only rule on stem stitch is to make sure that your loop always goes in the same direction. That's it. So I'll leave the link to the stem stitching video in case you haven't seen it. And just come up. Or just watch me do this. If you're using a thicker wool, Oh, why I call it wool and string and all sorts, you know what I mean? Whatever you're using. It would have made a thicker outline. But I didn't want a thick outline because it's going to interfere with my flowers. So I can't get it. I can't get it. There we go. I'll see what it looks like when we're finished. Let me just quickly go round. I think it's twisting, that's why. We just hold your work up and let your needle spin a bit. And that does help to untangle it a bit. Because you are twisting the cotton, thread, string, wool, whatever you're stitching with. You are twisting it. So just move it up out the way. Come round the outside. There we go. I do like stem stitch. It's like one of my favourites. I don't think satin stitch will ever be my favourite. I'm just not neat enough. I think you've got to be quite neat to be an embroiderer. But I did have people ask me to do it. And, you know, I'm here for you guys. I've got a few more requests to get through. And I will get through to them. I was hoping to have done the videos by now, but I haven't. But if you have asked me to do something, I have got it written down. So I will remember. Sometimes I just forget to write down who it was that asked me. So, and you can do that. You can do that in the comments. You can ask me questions in the comments. I always answer. Or you can send me an email. My email address is in the description box below the video as well. Okay, so there we are. One padded out satin stitch. I'm just trying to give you a bit of a close-up. I think it turned out pretty well. Do let me know what you think. Did I achieve my mission? Thank you to the ladies who requested it. That was a bit of a challenge, but only you will know if I pulled it off. You know what to do. Leave me a comment. I'll see you all soon. Bye, guys.